There it is. I see the notice.
Okay, welcome to another edition of Open for Business. Yesterday we had 5 very seasoned business professionals and business owners and leaders on our show, sharing their tips and advice on how to deal with this epidemic, this pandemic. These are unprecedented times, and I felt like it was very important to reach out to even more seasoned small business owners to share their tips and advice on how they're going to deal with this situation. So I'm just going to go one by one and ask everybody to please introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been in business and how are you going to deal with it. Eddie Deloach, would you like to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm Eddie Deloach. Been in business for 36 years. We're in a landscape business in a number of states and different locations throughout the southeast and southwest of the U.S. and been through a couple of these rides. Some have been good, some have not been real good. I'm probably about, let's say I'm about half the size I was when I went through 2009. But I made it to the other side and was able to continue to pay my bills and keep folks from coming to the door. So I feel like that's a sense of accomplishment in itself. But we've had we had a great run here, and we feel like that we're going to be able to continue on. So I look forward to the conversation today, and I can give you the things I've done wrong. I can give you the things I've done right, and you can decide what works for you, and maybe I can help you and you can help me.
That's how our wonderful business community works, Eddie. Right now, what are you doing with your employees?
Well, we basically came together and had a meeting concerning it, just to let folks know, we realize what we're in, and to let them know we have people that's been with us 20 and 30 years. So it's people that we want to make sure they know that as long as we can keep the doors open, we'll keep the doors open. And as long as they're a part of our company, we're going to treat them like family, and we're going to try to, as a group, get through this. It might not be, and we've done this before back in 2009, and once in the 80s, we had to reduce the number of hours people work, but we were able to continue to pay them at a certain level so that they were able to keep food on the table. So we reduced the hours and kept everybody on. That way we spread, enough money around to where people could get through. And whenever we got through the other side, we went back to where we originally were. And I think that might be an issue that's coming down the pipe here, because I don't see people being able to control what we're doing without some impact somewhere on the line. Absolutely.
So, do you belong to an association or
Yeah, we're a member of the national, there's a trade group of ours, National Landscape Association. That's used to be called Planet, but it's National Landscape Association. They're out of the Midwest, but we've been in association with them probably 15 years, and they're going. We use H-2B people. We got people that come in from Mexico to work for us during the summer sometime, every year. But this year we won't get them. Well, I don't know what it's going to do, but we'll figure it out.
Do they have any recommendations of what your industry needs to do? I think Eddie, we froze here. Okay. You back on
again.
Okay. Do they have any recommendations of what your industry should be doing that could help the other small business owners watching? I mean, one of the tips yesterday we got was, go ahead and file for unemployment. At least you'll have some income coming in. what would you like to tell the small business community watching? I think it's frozen. Eddie, if you can hear me, we'll come back. Eddie, can you hear us now?
I hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna I'm gonna stop right there with Eddie, and then I'm gonna jump to Diana, and
Right.
we'll okay. So Diana,
Okay.
please introduce yourself. Thank you, Eddie.
Yep.
Good morning, everyone. It is St. Patrick's Day in Savannah, and definitely a different one. But, you know, the glass can be half empty or the glass can be half full. This is something that we all take so personally. I'm Diana Morrison, advertising specialty services, promotional products, and corporate garments for 32 years this month, actually. And happy to say that we are alive and here and healthy so far. Some of the things that I would say is that, you know, small business owners, we take this very personally because our businesses are our lives. It's what we've done for so long, or it's the baby that you've birthed. So it's hard sometimes to not just let it get the best of you emotionally. But if I was going to give the biggest tips that I have, it is, you know, don't be sad, you know, be proactive, come up with a plan, meet with your staff, meet with your clients, meet with your vendors, and put together a plan of what it's going to take. Know what your overhead is and know what you have to do every day to meet that. Try not to obviously let any of your staff go, but if you have to, you have to. I think small businesses always feel like the easiest place, or business period, feels like the easiest place to cut overhead is staff first. But you know, if you don't have a team to help you pull through it, how are you going to get there? So think very, very seriously about how you manage your overhead. Have a plan, work the plan, make sure everybody understands the plan, not just some people. And understanding and how your industry is reaching out virtually and what you can do to market yourself. Most people have a tendency to stop marketing immediately. They're like, oh, we can't afford to market anymore, but you can't afford not to market. And look towards what businesses, because believe it or not, there are businesses that flourish during a down economy. For example, people might not buy a new car, but they'll fix their old one. So that part of the auto industry has a tendency to be up. The medical industry has a tendency to be up. So do your homework on what your product and service is and who your client base can be. It's the only way that we here at Advertising Specialty survived the crash of 2008 and 9. You know, I am pleased to say that I am on this phone call today with Valerie Edgemon, who started a group of women business owners. I'm going to say 25 years ago because I don't remember how long. But we gathered together and brainstormed and helped each other do what needed to be done and what we needed to learn. And we focused on each other's strengths and we trusted each other. And, you know, you can't do anything alone. And you have to have some positive reinforcement. And you can't just sit around and wring your hands and be angry or sad or mad and get anywhere. You've got to put those emotions behind you, work the plan, know what the plan is, and make sure it's feasible and logical, that it's something that you can do. And chin up, this will pass. I think we are very fortunate to feel like that this is a short-lived recession that we are about to face. But I just want every small business owner to know that I am here virtually or in person as our situation allows, to help counsel anybody that needs anything I have to offer. But please chin up, have a plan, make it work. You know, be fair and be honest and think through. Trade groups, depend on your trade groups, like Marjorie has mentioned. Read, see what it is, but don't play into the panic that disallows you from having a sound mind and making good judgment as you move your business forward. That's basically, I think, all I have to say.
We will overcome. I mean, look, they got through the Black Plague, they got through the Spanish influenza. You know, they got through it, and you know, life will go on, and we will have a plan for that. I love your idea of forming a group. So I like to commit to forming that group online maybe once a week while we're all in self-quarantine, so we can share. And we can do that. We don't need to do it publicly, but if
Right.
anybody watching would like to be part of it, please contact me. We do need to be supporting each other during these times.
Absolutely. And you know, I think another thing, Marjorie, that is so extremely important is that you keep your staff, you know, informed, and you do come up with your plan. I mean, you know, we're in a very virtual industry, in the promotional products industry, and we can show a client anything they want to see. Hey, look at this pen. Hey, you know, you can do anything virtually, and it could be the best thing that you could possibly do for your business is to take this time, that to-do list that's been on the back burner, take that and make your business stronger and sounder, and take up that next step of technology and growth or whatever it is that you need. Take this time to plan. You know, it's a wonderful opportunity. And I'm just thrilled that I live in a community that supports each other, and I'm grateful to be here.
We do. The Savannah business community is the best by far. We need to, here's an award. We absolutely are the best. And we are going to commit to all stick together and get through this and put together this Zoom group. And we'll figure out a day and a time to do that. So, okay, Diana, thank you so much for being on Open for Business. Don't go away. Valerie Edgemon.
Hey, my name is Valerie Edgemon, and I'm the owner of EDGEWOOD Travel, and we are a boutique travel agency. We have 7 employees and 4 independent contractors that are spread throughout the United States. We probably, of all the companies online today, were at the front end of the coronavirus because we started experiencing it in January. So we had clients traveling to Asia, and we started having to regroup and replan their entire vacation within a matter of days. So that wasn't too problematic. But then when Italy broke in terms of some of the things that were happening there, then it got real for us as well, because most Americans, their #1 travel destination is Italy. So we have basically now spent February and half of March canceling reservations, getting refunds issued with very little business coming in. So to speak to Eddie DeLoach's comment about the economic crisis of 2008, which affected us most greatly in 2009, we were there. One of the things that I would say to small businesses, the biggest mistake that I made that year was not accepting the realities of the finances and not acting quickly enough. So to reiterate Diana's point, as soon as we saw what was happening on both the European front and soon the American front, we had a meeting with our staff, and I told them, you know, I lived through 2009, we came out stronger, but I cannot afford to make that mistake. So in fact, we have already reduced staff hours. And like Diana said, we have to be here because we're still in the middle of canceling and rebooking. So we have to have people to answer the phones and help people. You can't let your customer service degenerate in any way, shape, or form in this crisis. So everybody's taken one day out of their schedule at this point to kind of equalize the pain. One of my staff told me today that they appreciated the fact that I didn't say, okay, you do this, you do that. I said, okay, everybody's taking a day. Who wants, choose your day. So at least it gave them some flexibility in the the changing hours. So I would say the other thing that really is important is, as Diana said, have your staff meeting and then make sure that everybody is on the same page as management when conveying the things that you are doing for your customers. So have a message and keep on message. Keep it clear, keep it consistent, and keep it regular. You cannot disappear from your clients at this point in time. They rely on you in good times, but this is really when you need to be there for them.
Are you communicating with them via email or calling or both? What's working for you?
We've issued blanket emails about all the steps we're taking. And because people are in a little bit of a panic mode, we're dealing with March and April travel dates, but we have people calling for December and saying, I want to change my plans. So we're just saying, we're here to help you. We're helping people in date order first. So we've communicated by email. We're always available by phone. People are texting us because they're in Europe and trying to get home. So it's all forms of communication. But just to a point of how this type of thing can benefit us, I'm sitting here and I just wrote myself a note, because a great way to communicate with customers that we may never see because they live elsewhere, or even we can't see right now, is to have a Zoom session and just a check-in session. Hey, how are you? So that'll personalize the situation and make, I think, everybody feel more comfortable.
Yeah, Zoom is an awesome platform. I was wondering if they were publicly traded, because I will buy their stock. Oh my gosh. So very good. So Valerie, what is your industry saying? What are they recommending?
I have to say that so far, the perspective is I have never, ever seen our suppliers step up to the plate as quickly, as generously as they have done. I mean, the cruise lines, it is costing them a fortune. And in my opinion, just about everything that they've done is the right thing. So we have a lot of industry support. I'm a member of a cooperative, and we get emails, we have phone calls, we have a webinar tomorrow with the entire organization, since we are a co-op. I'm also, like Diana said, your industry groups. I'm a member of a benchmarking group. So that's something for future. You can't do it now because it's, we're in the crisis mode, but for future, join an industry group that financially benchmarks what you are doing. So every three times a year, we meet together in person, and we pretty much grill each other over our numbers, over our overhead, as Diana mentioned. So really important to find a group that will take you to task when you're not doing the right things.
Now, did you find them on LinkedIn, or is there a company?
It's an industry group. So I found it through my industry.
That's really interesting. That's a great tip. That's a great tip. Okay. Anything else that you would like to share? They were great.
I think, again, returning to the staff, is that we'll have a new strategic meeting on Thursday morning with the entire staff to brainstorm about, as Diana mentioned, what the plan is and what should be the plan. And I think
what's your opinion on what it's going to be?
What now?
What is your gut feeling of what you think it's going to be?
Well, I would say we have, it's a guess at this point, depending on how well the social isolating measures take hold, but we're looking at least 3 months. And then for us, we know that once coronavirus is no longer every headline in the newspaper, it will take 6 to 8 weeks for the booking patterns to return to normal. So we're basically looking at a minimum of 5 months before business gets back to.
That's a really realistic number, I believe, actually.
I hope so. I hope it's only that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Very good. Thank you so much, Valerie. And Kathy Rogers, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy Rogers. I birthed a business out of the last crash after a layoff in corporate America, and I was working for a corporate real estate firm. They had commercial real estate. And so I rolled out of that and started my own marketing business because I thought, well, no one's hiring, so I might as well just start my own business, right? So I began to do what I did prior to that, building websites and helping people market their business and embrace technology. And that's one of my hugest things is if people still haven't embraced technology to the fullest. And I find that still across the board, especially in my industry. I'm currently a real estate agent now. I had my marketing business for about 10 years. And I run into people that, you know, they just say, well, I'm just not a technology person. Well, this is the age, and especially now, you know, we've got to stay in front of people digitally. We've got to, you know, do these type of things. But, you know, but we all know that things will turn around and go back up, because I also worked for a stock brokerage firm back in the 80s on Black Monday, and people were bringing in their paper stock certificates. I know this ages me, I'm sorry, but they would bring in their paper stock certificates of AT&T and wanted to sell them right on the spot. And so, you know, that whole panic mode. So we've all seen these panic days, and, you know, the best thing we know is just to hold on, because we know it's going to go back up. And the stock market typically goes back up, strongly within a year, you know, within 12 months. So we do know that things will start inching back up at some point, because how much lower could we go? But I think we all have to stay optimistic. There's things, even if it's, you know, we have to keep ourselves encouraged, number one. And how do we do that? I'm a person of faith, so that's part of my core. But, you know, we can all just walk outside, take a deep, you know, they're not restricting outside. So let's try to encourage ourselves first and then encourage others. I think that's a huge thing. But I think it's, I just think technology is our key. We need to embrace it and make the best use of what the tools that we have available. There's so many free things out there, just like this Zoom product that we're using. I've used it before many times, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful way to gather around our water cooler, if you will, you know, so because we need encouragement from each other, and we need to help one another, because my business relies on small businesses, and the real estate industry using photographers, lawn care, house cleaners, home inspectors, you know, the list just goes on and on. Closing attorneys, all these things are important, and we've got to, you know, encourage each other. Real estate's not going to go away. You know, it may have a little slump, but yesterday our Keller Williams Market Center, let me see where my little note is. 50 earnest money checks were turned in just to our market center.
They were returned?
Turned in. That means that the earnest money checks are, I'm buying a house. So that was just for our market center. That doesn't include all the boutique real estate agencies. So people are still buying homes. Interest rates are the lowest they've ever been. You know, that's something we don't have to go. You know, back in 2008, they weren't. And so if you had a business loan or things like that, it was very difficult. People were, you know, putting second mortgages on their home, doing all kind of things just to stay afloat. So now I think things are a little bit different this time around. And in the South, we'll rise again, because we've all been through these hurricane things, and we know what it's like to self-quarantine, if you will, and social distance. So, but we're also, I think the biggest thing that we all need to do is help one another.
And that's what we're doing. I mean, that's what Open for Business is all about, is to get your all's amazing tips, wisdom, guidance, and let our community know it's going to be okay. You know, just take a deep breath. Don't buy into all the panic. Yes, it's scary, but it will be okay. So does anybody else have anything else you would like to add to the conversation? I would love to.
I would like to reiterate what you just said, and I think it's really important that we always look at the glass half full, not half empty. No matter what happens today, the sun's going to rise tomorrow, and we're going to go through it, and we're going to figure out something. It might not be what we had. It might not be the same level we had. It might be greater. It might be smaller. But the point is, if you've got your health and you've got your family, everything's going to be all right. Just enjoy your life, because it's a very short, and enjoy that part of it. Don't fret going forward, because there's always opportunity. Might not be the same thing you're doing today, might not be what you thought you would be doing, but it doesn't matter as long as you've got family and you've got, you got your church, you got your family, and you've got your people around you. Life is really good. It doesn't matter what situation you're in if you make it as good as it possibly can be.
Living in the now, this more than ever, because worrying does no good. It robs us of our future. Right here, we're all right here, right now. We're good. And we've got all this bad, negative, crazy energy around us, and we just need to stay focused, have faith, and
pump it up, go forward.
Be positive. Absolutely. So thank you all for being on Open for Business. I will post this on YouTube, and I'll share it on the Business in Savannah, their Facebook page. And again, thank you very much, and stay positive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.